You have Panthers are 6-2.
They are 6-2.
See, it's the only record I don't know. The rest of these I know by heart. So they're 6-2. The Bucks are 6-3. I don't even think the Bucks are that impressive at 6-3. I think they could fall apart in the second half. They have not played well as of late, including an embarrassing game to Dallas. Let's take this call.
WRPR, you're on the air.
What is this injustice I'm hearing?
What injustice?
On the radio show.
What?
What'd you hear about?
The Penn State Nittany Lions for no reason. Mr. Tickle.
What did I say?
Mr. Tickle.
That we play nobody, and of course we'll be undefeated.
Well, it's true. Who have you played?
Ohio State.
Big deal.
Oregon State.
Big deal.
So USC is not a good team?
Nah, not really.
No?
I think many people agree with me, though.
Wolverines.
Yeah, well, they're not a good team, Todd.
They used to be.
That doesn't matter.
So we woke you up with that Penn State comment?
Yeah, well, I come back from the movie. I was in an awful mood before. I went to see the premiere of Roma. Ooh, fuck!
What was that?
I pulled my blinds down on accident. In my rage, Todd, in my rage for Mr. Tickle.
I assume you're very depressed about the game today.
Well, I wasn't really expecting big things. Brad Johnson and Brooks Bollinger. It's pathetic. What do you want?
Bollinger, first pass interception. It's embarrassing.
Well, this game actually reminded me a lot of Drew Bledsoe's last game for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And the last game of his career when Tony Romo came in.
Yeah.
Throwing, a couple first half turnovers, and then they bring in, quarterback. First pass he throws in the second half is picked off. The ideal situation. The scores were somewhat similar if the Cowboys would have scored at the end of the game. It would have been like each team would have been off by 1 point. But back to Penn State. So what classifies as a good team in college football?
I don't know. Maybe another team that would be undefeated if Penn State had not beaten them.
All right. Well, we played Coastal Carolina the first game of the season, and they could have been undefeated if we didn't beat them.
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
What do you want to see him beat? Notre Dame, or who do you want to see?
Notre Dame's garbage too.
I know. I was just saying. I'm trying to see what teams you would mention.
The Scarlet Knights of Rutgers, the pride of New Jersey.
They stink.
Oh boy.
Yeah. You can't even give me a good response back. So I have to make outlandish claims like that.
All right, hold your horses.
He's gonna look up some.
I'm gonna. All right, you hold on.
You gotta listen in your pocket.
You can tell me Texas Tech, they beat Texas, and then they look at their non-conference schedule.
He's making the call here.
Hold on a second.
This shouldn't happen. If you're a radio show host, you should not get embarrassed by a caller.
He's calling somebody up.
Who's he calling? That Bloomstein?
Oh, by the way, we had a United Kingdom caller call in the first couple minutes. It was pretty funny.
Who's that?
It was this guy who was like he wanted to call. He was typing it for weeks, saying he was going to call in, and he called in today.
How do you know him, Todd?
Just some guy I know from online. He actually called. I was shocked he called in.
You guys cyber?
What about him?
You guys cyber?
No, I don't do that nonsense. You kidding me? Oh, what happened?
I got a caller on here who says that he played.
Oh, Mr. Tickle. So, Todd, tell me about your life. What you been up to? What were you dressed up for Halloween? Did you dress up?
Our current caller believes that he's played. Let me screw my mic. Hey, what are you doing?
Where was this plugged in?
This caller thinks that Penn State's played some good teams, and you claim that they play nobody.
All right, you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Todd.
Something got messed up. All right, he's on the phone with.
So, you want to get in on this conversation?
With who? Bloomstein?
No, someone else named Brian Friedman, who apparently watches college football.
We're gonna put you on right now. You can talk.
And he's gonna go on the air at the same time as you and talk. So let's see.
How's that gonna happen? Oh, I'm gonna have an on-air battle with this kid.
Are you gonna get him on the air? He's refusing to talk.
Coward. Tell him I said he's a coward.
All right, Brian, you're on the air.
Okay. So I heard somebody said that Penn State had a pretty decent schedule.
What was that?
We're talking about Penn State.
Yeah, I know about that, but I mean, what teams have they really played? Ohio State.
Ohio State, Illinois, Wisconsin, Oregon State, who beat USC. Michigan, for the prestige factor, if you want it. What else do you want me to rattle off? We play Iowa next week. We play Michigan State, who's ranked. Hello? Hello? Hello?
He could barely hear or something.
All right. He seems he can't hear you.
Why don't you just repeat what he's saying?
Yes, what did you say?
He said they beat
Iowa, Michigan State.
That's who we play in the next coming weeks. Michigan State's ranked. They're 18th in the nation by the BCS standing.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about Penn State here, and who they're playing upcoming.
Oh, this is pathetic. What kind of riffraff are you running here?
Michigan State.
I don't know what this guy.
Yes, Iowa and Michigan State. What's your comments?
That's who we're playing.
I mean, sure, Michigan State might be. Might be a little bit of
Can this guy talk?
trap game, but
That sounds like he's on a vibrator up to his throat.
the schedule wasn't that great for throughout the year. I mean, besides them playing Ohio State, but I feel Ohio State really isn't as good as people think. Plus, the conference itself isn't that strong.
So, Brian, what teams do you think are good?
I mean, there's a lot of teams out
Can
there.
you name like 3 or something?
A one-loss Florida.
Yeah, they're real good. They lost to Ole Miss.
one-loss
How does that make them a good team?
Even though their schedule isn't really that spectacular either.
Did you say USC? Who lost to Oregon State and Penn State beat?
A one-loss Texas team, they lost to Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, you
Still
said.
think it's a really good team.
Texas Tech, look at their non-conference schedule. They beat one team.
Obviously, Texas Tech is just still undefeated.
So if that's his argument, then why isn't Penn State considered a good team?
So, why isn't Penn State considered a good team then?
What was that?
You said Texas Tech, and they beat like one good team, and
And you said because they're undefeated that they are a good team.
See after, their conference is a little, they're in a good conference, but, yeah, no, that's still would be seen based upon the fact they still have to play, they're playing, Oklahoma State next week, which could be, could be a letdown, especially from their game this week. You never know.
I get this jobber off the air.
There's no deficit because all the top teams, and at least this year, it seems like one team from another, once you get that number 1 ranking, even though Texas Tech is 2, it's like, there's been like 5 or 6 teams that have held their first number one ranking so far this year.
All right, Brian. Thanks for your input. See ya.
we hung up on the jobber.
That was awful, guys. That was pathetic. That kid was just not even talking about Penn State, which is what I called to talk about. And
Yeah, well...
he made no sense. He said Texas Tech is a good team. He's like, oh, they could get knocked off, though. So, I don't know. There's no good... He basically said there's no good teams in college football. But the only reason Texas Tech was a good team was they're undefeated. So that means he would be on my side. And that Penn State is a good team. Because under his definition of a good team, undefeated is a good team.
I don't know.
Well, we don't
When
have
the
a comment on college football, so we have to bring in an expert.
All right, you mean a lack of an expert?
Sure, why not?
So according to his definition of a good team, when the season starts and everyone's undefeated, there's 119 good teams.
I'm sure Mina knows more about that than he does.
Who?
Mina. Remember your neighbor Mina?
Mina. With the big toe missing?
Yeah, what happened to that kid? I haven't heard from him.
I don't know. I don't see him ever. He maybe went to Egypt University. I feel like his sisters went.
Oh, okay.
But I got the Cowboys game was pathetic, Todd. But there's some injustice going on. How do we get all this lack of hype out of Penn State when we've done everything people have asked us? And Alabama barely beat us. They played a Georgia team. They did well, but we've done everything asked of us, and I don't understand why people claim we don't deserve to be in a national championship game.
Well, I guess you just got to keep proving it. Just don't listen to the media. Don't listen to what they're saying, and then if you guys win out here, you'll probably get what you need.
All right, Todd. I like your optimism.
You've been winning all the games so far. You got to keep it up.
I like your optimism, Todd. How do you feel about the Eagles today, beating up on the Seahawks?
That first play of the game, it was pretty bad, but then they stepped it up. They played good defense. I just don't like them. They never match up well against the Giants. Like they might be able to beat them, but I'm too confident about them.
Giants didn't look very good today. I'm not going to lie, to be honest with you.
Eli never looks that good.
I honestly think the Cowboys players gave up in the second half.
It just upsets me because Eli never plays that well, and he gets so much credit. You know, it's mostly the defense, it's the running back.
Oh, yeah, they have a good defense. Don't get me wrong, but I think like the team just gave up. They were just tired.
That's true. Yeah, they didn't.
Like the defense was on the field for like 90% of the first half.
That was true. Yeah, they didn't.
So they were tired. I mean, to begin with, like that's why they scored that late first half touchdown. And the defense just tired.
And then also you get the Bush calls. Like whenever Dallas gets a big play, they'll be like, "Oh, penalty on them." Make something up,
Corey, what's in the Meadowlands? I guess how the Giants work. I don't know. It's all adversity, whatever. I'm not too concerned. Tony Romo comes back.